Hey guys, welcome back. Bitcoin is finally moving here back into higher levels and showing signs of a real bounce. I will show you the most important levels that we need to look at right now and if this is a sustainable bounce or just somewhat of a dead cat bounce that we're gonna roll over. So don't miss out on that and let's go. Thank you so much for tuning in here, guys. Today, a kind of special stream. I never was on a stream actually drinking, so we have a little bit Friendsgiving because, as many of you guys know, my girlfriend is American, so she likes Thanksgiving, and that's why we have already some pre-drinks. So I'm a little bit tipsy, not gonna lie, because they are like filling me up, but I'm still here. So let's get straight into today's content because I want to go back downstairs drinking with them. So the CME chart. On the CME chart, we are getting a CME gap if we are opening at current price levels because Bitcoin finally showed here some signs of life, so to speak, where we are currently trading at $86,500 more or less. $600, $86,600 actually. I just checked here on the other chart. So I have to move this a little bit higher and it gives us a small CME gap. But I honestly believe that even if we would get here this kind of CME gap from Friday's close to the current price of Bitcoin, then we're not coming back and filling this gap and rather see extreme expansion to the upside once the US market is opening tomorrow morning. So and this CME gap might be then here for quite a while before we are going to close that. So why do I believe that? Because when I look here at the weekly chart, we got a really strong bounce, and that was something that I pointed out yesterday from the upward sloping trend line here, anti-horizontal level. So now we can finally speak of a proper bounce that we are seeing here. It would be a way stronger bounce if we can by today, before we getting a weekly close, see Bitcoin trading around $89,200, $300 and going back into the golden ratio here on the weekly chart. Regardless of that, I believe that by next week, so basically tomorrow or after tomorrow, we're gonna see Bitcoin back above the golden ratio, around $93,000, $94,000, reclaiming the falling wedge pattern. This whole area will be considered a deviation to the downside and a fake out, and then continue to the upside. The only problem with that is that we still need to break then to continue the upwards movement to break above $103,000, $106,000, $107,000 approximately to put in a higher high compared to the swing low, the swing high that we put in, the lower high that we put in that I spoke yesterday about. On the correction side, I think we have done enough damage here in the market with 36% based on what Bitcoin is doing right now. Because when we're looking here, also in this weekly chart, you can clearly see that currently Bitcoin is reclaiming the golden ratio between $86,300 and $89,200 approximately. So and we only need to close here in the next coming hours to signal a reversal to the upside to at least $93,000, $94,000. The optimal case and the most bullish case would be a move back into the mid-range of the EMA ribbon, which is again a confluence level of $103,000 that I have spoken so much about here. So I just want to make sure that I'm actually okay, like this. I'm half in the stream, like centered in the stream. That's what I wanted to say. So I'm centered in the stream. Just want to make sure about that. Yeah, on the daily chart, here the most important level that you need to watch right now is this upward sloping trend line. If we are getting a daily close today, here at current price levels, also here you're going to see tomorrow a massive move back into the $90,000 range. I'm not saying that we go straight back into this falling wedge pattern, but at least a retest of this downward sloping trend line should be in the cards by tomorrow if we close at current price levels. So, because of the fact that we still have basically 11 hours left, there is the possibility right now that Bitcoin could come in this current daily candle all the way up already to $91,000 and close there the weekly candle. I've seen it multiple times over the course of my career that by the end of the day of a weekly close, that Bitcoin started to push really aggressively to the upside to basically signal the reversal that everybody's waiting for. So I'm not saying that this has to happen today, but I would be not surprised if that would be actually the case and that we are seeing this here unfolding in the next coming hours. But in any case, this has to happen here in the next 72 hours that we go above this downward sloping trend line here to send a strong signal in the market that this movement down here, the $80,600, $80,500 low, was the actual local bottom. And from now, it's a reversal back to the upside until proven otherwise, and getting a rejection from $103,000, sending us one more time into lower levels. But for the time being, you would not do really bad if you would sit in a position. So, and I just want to show you here once more the position that I showed yesterday that was 6% underwater. Because I'm printing right now, guys. I'm printing. I cranked already up the leverage. And I'm just going to show it to you guys. So here, I'm up now 72% on that trade. Just on that trade, the same trade like yesterday. You can go back and check the entry price. It's the same entry price. I only increased leverage and I'm up 72% and added margin back to the same position already. So I'm now just waiting for a move higher and then basically a small correction that I can add back the full amount of margin that I put in the first place. Then on the 4-hourly chart, also here, we are currently trying to break back into the EMA ribbon that flipped bearish. Let me show it to you guys. I almost forgot to switch back into the chart. So here, the EMA ribbon on the 4-hourly chart, we are about to move here into higher levels of this. Here, the $88,800 level approximately is the mid-range. If the price is not getting rejected from there, then also here expect over the next 48 hours a continuation move above the EMA ribbon and an attempt to flip that. So especially if Bitcoin breaks here in the next 72 hours back to like $93,000, $94,000, the EMA ribbon will flip by the end of the new week that is happening in a couple of hours. On the MDX algo scalp gradients, also here price action starts to heat up right now. We are in a red pinkish phase right now, and the target that I see here in that move is at least the 2.618 here, $90,400, or the weekly open from the current weekly candle of $94,200, which would mean that we are coming for this overall sell liquidity that's stacked up here, all these sell orders up here, and taking them out. And if we would see something like this, I would expect that we range here a little bit before we get a continuation move towards $100,000. These two dot plots here with the take profit signal that have actually marked right now the bottom with a bullish divergence. And this will stay like this until proven otherwise with a break below $85,600 and the nail in the coffin here at $84,600. So I gave you guys yesterday a trade setup. I remember that at where is my chart for this? It was like 84,000 something where I set up a trade. No, I said here around this upward sloping trend line you can enter this. Yeah, that's what I said. So, but here's the next trade setup for you guys, and that's a way safer way to enter into a position right now than what I, for example, did. And that is when you wait for a break of the 50 moving average here for Bitcoin. Stop loss 1.3%, and you can target here $94,000 approximately. So we are looking at an 8% move to the upside with a 1% stop loss, absolutely fine. You just want to make sure that we close at least one 30-minute candle, above the 50 moving average on the 30-minute chart. If you want to trade this trade, guys, then go to Weex. That's where most of my trades are still happening, even though I trade now this Bitcoin trade specifically on Bybit. But regardless of that, usually I trade only on Weex right now on my Bitcoin trades. You get up to $30,000 in bonuses if you sign up there. Don't forget that, plus $400 just for binding your phone, email address, and downloading the app, and an additional $400, so a total $800 if you deposit at least $500. And when you do that and deposit the $500, you will get also access to my VIP Telegram absolutely for free, where we were still killing it while the market was going down. I personally found runners in the market while everything was going to shit. So if you want access to that, follow every step in the description. If you cannot reach out on Telegram, send me an email at amcrypto.us, or write me on Twitter, amcryptoalex, and send me there a message, and then we're gonna get you sorted, but only if you sign up with the link in the description, plus deposit $500. And the same thing if you sign up on Tapbit if you cannot use Weex. So, and these are the conditions for that. Now let's talk quickly about the liquidation levels. So here you see price action is ramping up to get a move into the 50 moving average on the 4-hourly chart, which is sitting at around $90,200. So if we take out here the over leverage levels, liquidation levels, that will lead to a continuation move to $94,000. From there, maybe we're gonna see, like I said, just a small pullback and some correction, but overall the target is here the 200 moving average, which is now coming a little bit lower, not $103,000 anymore. It's sitting more around $102,750, and by the next 2, 3, 4, 5 4-hourly candles, it will be around $102,000, $101,800 approximately. So, but this is the target that I see that Bitcoin is gonna hit here from that reversal and this overall bounce that we are seeing here currently unfolding in front of our eyes. On the liquidation heat map, no, I want to go to the monthly chart and take a sip. Not good, not good. So I'm actually drinking here gin tonic, guys, for all the gin tonic lovers out there. Yeah, also here on the liquidation side, you see on the heat map that $98,000 is now definitely a target. The $90,000 level should lead to a short squeeze, getting us to $94,000, $98,000. And if we can break above that, then the overall long-term target, I would say mid to long-term, is here $112,000. Nothing has changed about this. There's at least $193 million, $200 million worth of liquidations, but everything in between, if you add up everything on the way up, we're talking over $1 billion worth of short liquidations. If we should reach $112,000. And I think I saw on Twitter, if we go to $125,000, it's I think 20 billion worth of liquidations that we would actually trigger on the short side. So yeah, there's so much money that is up for grasps, just for move price higher and fuel also then of course that massive buy pressure that will catapult us then in the new all-time high. So right now, I think we should not talk a new all-time high just yet, because we are just starting to see a reversal. So I want to retract there a little bit. But this will definitely be more a topic of conversation when we get past $100,000 here in this upcoming week. The USDT dominance is finally seeing a rejection to the downside, and we are putting in here a topping formation, a topping candlestick formation, which is an evening star. So also here, if we close just at current levels, by tomorrow you're gonna get a big continuation candle to the downside. And as I mentioned yesterday, you want to see the USDT dominance breaking all the way down back here below this upward sloping trend line. Because once we are getting here below this upward sloping trend line, Bitcoin will be around $120,000. So, and that's what you want to see here happening in the coming days. But in the short term, definitely a retest of like 5.9% if we are closing the current daily candle on the USDT dominance as is. On the Bitcoin dominance, also here we are just fumbling around the 59% level. I see also here continuation to the downside. Give it maybe another day or two when we are breaking that. You get most likely then a retest one more time in the 59% level, and then the initial and final move here into lower levels, and that will mark, in my opinion, the start of the proper altcoin season. So you want to be positioned right on that retest when we start to break down from there into lower levels, because once this is happening, I don't believe that the Bitcoin dominance will come back anytime soon above the 59% level again. You only have to look here back in the past when we were above 59% and broke below that, like over here. So we have a similar situation like in 2020. That's why I'm always referring back to like the 2020 cycle. So we had here a situation like over here where we went here higher, not 72%, but we went like into this cluster here, then came back, retested this. Now we're starting to see that breakdown. So as you can see here, that breakdown starts to be really violent when we are below 59%, and we got every single time a retest of the 59% level when we broke below that, before we got the severe continuation into lower levels. But this year, this is what I'm looking at right now in the next coming days for the Bitcoin dominance. So and this will trigger a massive run on altcoins. This, of course, can be a little bit more choppy and a little bit more flatlined and not as aggressive that it was over here. But overall, even if it goes like in a choppy way sideways down, the result will be the same overall. And that's what we are looking at. The total free market cap also got here a nice bounce from the 35 billion dollar level. Sorry, I'm start to slur my words. $835 billion level. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Retested $856 billion. Here that is a Morningstar candlestick pattern, and we are seeing that is a reversal pattern. So that would mean by tomorrow you should get continuation to the upside, and then at some point next week a break of this downward sloping trend line. Once we're breaking this downward sloping trend line and we close the daily candle above this, this is your signal that the altcoin season also here is going to start. So you want to have multiple levels of confluence to determine that the altcoin season is actually starting. So we want to see Bitcoin dominance below 59%, and that a retest happened around that level. And at the same time, we want to see the total free market cap breaking this downward sloping trend line, also with a retest, coinciding with the retest of the 59% level, and then getting continuation here to the upside, and then the Bitcoin dominance continuation to the downside. And before I get now into Ethereum, I just want to mention here, let me just pull this up really quickly. Waitlist. Yeah, waitlist. So right now, when it comes to my mentorship program, the one-on-one mentorship program, the list is already completely filled up. Right now we have only waitlist spots, and we have also a downgrade package if you don't want the one-on-one, guys. But we are oversubscribed already. You can still get on the waitlist. If you are lucky, we have some people that are not committed as they should be. They get weeded out, and we gonna go definitely through some people on the waitlist. You should definitely make sure that you are signing yourself up for the waitlist for the mentorship program, because on the 1st of December, we're gonna launch the new mentorship program with the people that have signed up for that. There is a link in the description if you want to be part of that, exactly to the same waitlist. And I guarantee you that me and my team will make you profitable. If not, you get $1,000 from me straight back to your wallet, you know. But I will work with you as long as it takes for 6 months to make sure that you will become a profitable trader if you sign up for my mentorship program. It's of course not for free, but there is like the link in the description. Just fill out the simple form to get on the wait list, and then really close to the launch, we're actually going to reach out to you and see if you're a good fit for me and my team, or actually not, and take it from there. So yeah, like I said, there is the link in the description for that. And for now, the one-on-one is already oversubscribed, which is amazing. But like I said, even if it's oversubscribed, there's always some people that are not fully committed. Then we're gonna sort them out and get somebody from the waitlist the opportunity to work with me directly. So let's talk about Ethereum. Ethereum is over here. So if you would have entered the trade that I just mentioned yesterday again, you would be now already in a really nice profit of here roughly 3%. And here you see the same formation that we're seeing in Bitcoin, and I've seen this over and over again, where this actually marks a bottom formation with a somewhat V-shaped recovery to the upside. Here the initial target is $3,090, and I highly recommend you to definitely start taking profit around that level and leave the rest for higher targets. Because it can be that Ethereum and coinciding with Bitcoin gets so violent on that move back up that we're just gonna slice through that and only here encounter resistance on the way back up. And you want to make sure that you are not completely out of your position when this is happening. But the majority, like 70-80%, should be taken all the way up here. You leave a moon back with a stop loss at around $3,000. That means you will still make money even if it turns around from there like this and kicks you out and then turns around and goes higher. It doesn't matter, because you made overall profit because you got in all the way down here in that area. So you can also technically still enter right now to take advantage of that move, because there's still enough money and plenty of money to go around if you want to do that. But of course, everybody that followed yesterday the signal that I gave, where I said I'm entering this right now, you have a huge advantage in terms of the stop loss, because you're sitting already at some profit. Here Solana on the 4-hourly chart, we try to break back above $130.25, so we are slightly above this right now, but the wicks that we are putting currently in are telling me that we are struggling around this level. That's why I had here also this horizontal level put in, because it is now a resistance level. As you can see, it was support and we broke the support, so now it is confirming resistance. If you want to trade this, wait for a break, like a confirmed break in like the next 6 hours, then we're actually above this, and can confirm continuation here into 142, 150, $160, $160. So that just happened now. This buy cluster here gives me confidence that you can actually enter this right now, because I don't think that we're going to break this, even if it turns around, and will just give you a little bit of a lower entry of like maximum 3%. But if you don't trade with like 25x leverage, you can technically enter this right now for a continuation move into like 142, $155. And another point that I need to make here before I'm leaving is that this bearish pennant actually flipped to the upside. I have mentioned it many times before. These patterns have a 70% chance to go into the desired direction. So here we came out of a downtrend into this pennant, which would mean that we're gonna get continuation to the downside. So there was a 70% chance that we are going lower, and a 30% chance, whoa, my drawing skills are horrible. Yeah, no, let's get rid of that and do this again. 30% chance that we are breaking to the upsides. And here, that is one of the 3 occasions out of 10 where this broke to the upside. So, and yeah, usually when that happens, it is a strong move that follows suit fairly quickly afterwards. So that's why I would not wait. If you want to trade Solana, you can technically get into this right now, because on the daily chart, we are about to put in a buy signal on the stochastic and on the daily, on the MACD. Shit, what is this right now? Whoa. Okay, here on the MACD, the same thing, and the RSI is going to the upside out of oversold conditions. So everything is in alignment on the daily chart to give us here continuation into higher levels to at least 164, maybe even $180 based on what I see on the daily chart. So you should definitely take advantage of that. So what is here happening? Why is here? Okay, it's gone. It's gone. Yeah, so I don't want to talk about more coins right now because I'm here now. How long? Oh, I should move this a little bit back again. Let me see how long I'm on the stream. Let me reload that quickly. Oh, almost 25 minutes. Yeah, so it's long enough. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave again, guys. You're gonna see me tomorrow again. I'm gonna put out a a video in the morning. It's a normal video. Also watch that, guys. Would be really nice. Support me there to watch that. And other than that, don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, take a drink, and hit the notification bell. And I'm going to see you then again with more money tomorrow.